Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, good day. Hi, my name is Krista, and you're watching Heart to Heart. And our subject today is sharing a memorable lesson learned from a past job. Wow, this is going to be interesting. I will be adding my thoughts at the end. Let's go to Pam first and see what her thoughts are.
Good morning. Could tell a few, but anyway. Yeah, years ago when I worked in a brick and mortar business, I worked for someone else for several years. And during that time, we were thought to be loyal to our employer. And I learned that really fast because as one thing I am is loyal. If you're good to me, then I'm good to you. But over the years, I took over that brick and mortar business. And it's a funny thing because loyalty didn't go both ways. And I learned that the hard way. So I brought that forward in taking note that don't take things for granted. Just because you are what you are, it don't always mean the other person is. You do the best you can. Be the person you are. Don't let those people change you. Because I'm loyal and I will stand by my values and my principles and do the things that I know is right and what makes me feel right. If I get a gut feeling and know that I'm doing something that I shouldn't be doing, that a loyal person would not do, then I'm not going to do it. But if somebody you see is doing it to someone, walk away because that person is not for you.
Mhm.
Thank you.
Great lesson, Pam. Thank you. Okay, Janice, your turn. You're on mute.
Well, let me tell you, I have worked in various locations, but generally it's always been in the same type of work. However, since being sort of semi retired, I work in a school that has lots and lots of middle school age kids. So, one of the lessons that I have tried to adapt to is to stay calm and to speak to students in a calm and quiet way. So here's my example. Yesterday at lunchtime, this is when I'm at the school. Yesterday at lunchtime, the kids, they at the end of lunch, they tend to get very excited and rambunctious and they're running around. And, this isn't what we really want to do, and they get into their own little discussions and um, groups of kids, and they're all excited. And sometimes it gets to be too rambunctious. Well, one of the kids in this group, he was going on about, oh, this person did this to me, and he said he would do this for me, and um, and there was a whole crowd of kids around him. So I went, and he was very loud. So I went over to him and I said to him, I says, can I talk to you for a minute? And he started shouting at me. And I looked at him and I said, listen, I need to talk to you, and you have to speak a little quieter. And he looked at me and he sort of gave it some thought. And I says, can you come over here so I can talk to you on your own? So he came over and I asked him, I said, what is it that you're yelling about? And he repeated what his problem was. And so I said to him, well, I really don't think he's going to do whatever it is you asked him to do, because he just won't be able to comply with what you're asking. And he said, yeah, you're right. And so he went back to his spot in the lunchroom where he had been sitting. And afterwards, I was sort of reflecting on it. I'm thinking, well, that seemed to have been the best way to sort of calm the situation down because he was really having a difficult time. And by isolating him from everyone else and being able to talk one-on-one to him, it solved the situation. So that's what I sort of can recommend. If you can step aside and take whatever it is you're doing out of the immediate situation, you can look at things differently, and the person you're speaking with can do the same. That's what I have learned. Thank you. You can't hear you. You're on mute.
Oh, sorry. I put myself on mute because I was coughing. Yeah, thank you, Janice. Kids are the best teachers, aren't they? And then we can apply it to our lives, like our adult lives. They're great for teaching us, and they just tell us like it is, which we can learn that as well because we don't always do that. Okay, so my thoughts are on what I have learned. Well, I'm like Pam. I've learned many lessons, and I've had different positions over the years. But the one that stood out to me was years ago. I remember when I was working a non union position and I was walked out the door unexpectedly. I was not prepared. I didn't realize at the time companies could do this. I was very young. Companies could do this to you. Well, I learned fast, this is for sure. I now know companies can decide to downsize at any time without notice. Yes, sometimes you will get a severance or settlement, depending on how long you've been there or what type of position you're holding. But it taught me when we are working for somebody else, we will always be vulnerable to their agenda. This doesn't mean you cannot work for a great place with rewarding work and enjoy it, but at any time things could change for your position and they could downsize it. That is why it is smart to have multiple sources of income, so you are never vulnerable to any one income stream. If you are dismissed or they downsize or one income doesn't generate income, or one income stream doesn't generate any income, then you always have backup. It's smart to have multiple sources of income. I'd like to know, what is your backup plan? Okay, everyone, I hope you enjoyed our discussion this morning and it gave you some food for thought. And if you're open to hearing more about working online and adding another income stream, just like us, reach out and we will be more than happy to get you started and fill you in on all the details. So I hope everybody has a wonderful day and take care of yourselves.